All right, here we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the live stream. In today's stream, we're going to be talking about which episode are we on? The Last Voyage. All right, perfect. Thanks for everybody joining right now. Sorry, the stream got off to a little bit of a late start. Usually, I let a few minutes pass before I get into it. Today, we start a little bit late. In terms of what the drink is today, for all of you guys wondering, we have just a bottle of water. Just going simple today. In terms of spam in the chat, let's try not to. Um, there are a few people trying to count. Let's not do that. Thank you very much. And in case you guys have not been joining any of the streams as of late, here's what we got in terms of the information. We'll be streaming Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. So clearly the episode review is not going to take up the entirety of the stream, so we'll jump into the Q&A pretty early into the stream. Usually it's about 15-20 minutes in. So, and obviously we're going to be updating this day by day. If there's ever a moment where I can't stream, I will let you guys know. But in the meantime, here's what we got streaming. In terms of counting, yeah, let's try not to do that. Just giving out a fair warning for that. Let's try not to. But yeah, in today's episode, we're talking about The Last Voyage, episode 22 of Ninjago, and let's go ahead and get into it. We're going to start talking about the plot, and then we'll jump into some good stuff, some bad stuff, and then finally we will give it a score out of 10. In terms of the hugs, we will wait until the end of the stream to do that. So let's go ahead and get into it. We will let the episode reviews run, or the episode slideshow run in the background as we discuss this episode. And if you guys had any type of question related to the episode at hand, feel free to go ahead and ask it during the review portion. If you guys had any type of general question, try not to ask that during the review portion. We'll get into general Q&A stuff later on. But let's go ahead and get into it with talking about the actual plot rundown of this episode. So the episode begins with Wu and Zane pretty much watching the Dark Island from afar. The Dark Island kind of appears out of nowhere, and they're just kind of curious as to what is going on there. So Zane sends in the Falcon. He sends in the Falcon to go ahead and do a little bit of recon that will be more relevant in the episode later on. The ninja decide to repair the bounty in the meantime, while Masako goes into a little bit more information about the scrolls of the final battle, and she kind of talks a little bit more about what that does and what all that means, and she explains that the Temple of Light is the place where the ninja can unlock their pure elemental abilities. So obviously the ninja are going to try to make that a priority once they get into the Dark Island. Meanwhile, on the way there, or wait, we were jumping way too far ahead. They decide to take the bounty to the Dark Island. Even though it can't really fly, it can still sail because, of course, it's a boat, so they can go ahead and take that to the island. And they all say their goodbyes. Each ninja kind of has a little bit of a goodbye moment towards someone else at Ninjago for the most part. It's kind of strange. But anyway, they take off, and on the way there, the Falcon is unfortunately shot down. There is a moment where the Falcon kind of flies over the Dark Island for recon, and the bird is hit by a member of the Stone Army. So obviously, Zane kind of is upset about that. He kind of feels like the Falcon is kind of down and kind of out of commission, which in a way he is, but he's not out just yet. But that is kind of a little bit of an interesting character moment for Zane. Meanwhile, on the Dark Island, Garmadon and the Overlord and the Stone Army are trying to collect dark matter. Garmadon questions why they're doing this, and the Overlord's like, "No, it's all right. Just let's go ahead and do it. It's all right. We're not wasting time playing in the mud or anything." Meanwhile, back on the Bounty, the ninja unfortunately get caught in a storm, and after several attempts to try to evade the storm, they end up with more of an issue when these little starfish dudes start jumping on the boat. Now these guys are called Star Teeth, and they can just basically bite through anything of sorts. They can bite through metal, wood, any type of thing. So the ninja have that to deal with now, and it's not a good time. They kind of do their best to try to evade the storm, but they pretty much are attacked, and the storm pretty much wrecks the bounty. The storm kind of lets up, and hi Waffle. The storm kind of lets up, and in that moment, they do pretty much see that the bounty is destroyed, but they do go ahead and venture upon the lighthouse, which is something that's going to be very important moving forward in the episode. They do reach the lighthouse. In case you guys are wondering, my kitty Waffle just came into the room, so she's going to be hanging out with us on the stream. She'll just jump on the desk and stuff. So Yeah, Waffles here. But anyway, they make it to the lighthouse. Zane kind of senses something a little strange, and the ninja walk up to the door and are greeted by Dr. Julian, who is supposed to be dead. So, kind of an interesting part there. Dr. Julian is presumed dead, but here he is, all alive again. So, this pretty much makes for an interesting episode, all things considered. Julian explains his backstory and how he was revived by Samukai after his death and was basically used by the skeletons to build vehicles for them. And after he kind of refused that, he put him up in the lighthouse to, I guess, be imprisoned. And there was a Leviathan to protect him, or not protect him, but to guard him and make sure that he didn't escape over time. So now he's finally with Zane again. He can finally see his son. So it's a pretty good backstory, and it kind of explains where he's been throughout this entire time. The Leviathan pretty much shows up immediately after and kind of checks on Dr. Julian. The ninjas are forced to hide, of course, and essentially what they're going to be doing here is using Dr. Julian to help fix the bounty so they can go ahead and fly out of there. So we get a little bit of a montage. We get treated to a montage of the ninja with Dr. Julian trying to rebuild the bounty, putting some stuff up and just fixing the bounty overall to get it to fly again. And we do get a little bit of a moment in there with Zane and Dr. Julian as well, where Zane kind of explains how he wants Dr. Julian to make a change in him, that change being that he wants his memory switch gone. Makes sense. I don't really see a reason for Zane to have a memory switch either. So just overall, Zane kind of explains that he doesn't want to forget his father again or his current life because he's actually having a good time, which is pretty good. That's a nice little character moment for Zane and Julian. It's nice to see them catch up, and it's nice to see them actually interact like father and son for the first time in a long time. So, very good stuff there. Julian explains how the ninja is pretty much. Or the ninja ship, rather, the bounty, are pretty much all ready to go. The bounty's pretty much fixed up, so they do try to go ahead and launch with the flying gimmick that the bounty has. But then the Leviathan attacks and tries to bring down the ship, obviously, trying to prevent Julian from leaving. And they're pretty much faced with a difficult challenge again, much like earlier in the episode, how they were trapped in the storm. This time they are trapped by the Leviathan. They tried to hurry up and get free before the Leviathan attacked, but unfortunately that's not really the case. But Zane has an idea. The Leviathan is chained up beneath the surface, so Zane dives overboard to go pick up something down below, and it's revealed that he's trying to, I guess, free the Leviathan from captivity. Once he does, he is able to free the Leviathan, and Waffle's playing in the corner. It's very cute. Sorry, I'm distracted. But yeah, they free the Leviathan, and it leaves letting the ninja escape on the bounty. And Zane kind of explains how, no one deserves to be imprisoned, even though that's not really true. There are several people out there that deserve to be in prison. So that line is kind of thrown out the window. But yeah, that's pretty much where the episode ends. Kind of a very straightforward episode. There's not a lot that goes on. The ninja basically show up at the lighthouse and rescue Julian. So overall, it's pretty much the plot of the episode. That's pretty much all there is to it. In terms of good stuff and bad stuff, I do have a few things for both categories. So let's go ahead and get into it. In terms of good stuff, the Zane and Julian stuff, whenever they're on screen together, it's good. Stop getting distracted. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize this was a professional stream. But Zane and Julian are, of course, family, and it's really cool to see them together again. It's very awesome to see them interact as father and son, and the most of the good stuff in this episode comes from that. And the family aspect of it, the backstory for Julian, and that's pretty much the only specific thing I have to say about good stuff for this episode. But we also did get a little bit of an introduction to the Dark Island and the Dark Matter, which will come into play later on in episodes to come. But overall, the main thing that carried this episode, at least for me, was the interactions between Julian and Zane, which I thought was really well done. But that's unfortunately where the good stuff ends. I've always kind of been under the impression that this episode was kind of useless in the overall scheme of things. It honestly felt like filler when I was watching it, and rewatching it for this review, it still did. I remember feeling that this episode way back in the day was always just kind of awkwardly placed. I feel like this should have been in the first half of season 2, not in the second half. We're not even at the Dark Island yet, and we only have a few more episodes left of the actual season. So it's kind of interesting to go ahead and think about that, honestly. But in terms of bad stuff, again, the episode was kind of a little too long, in my opinion. It pretty much stretched out the entire plot. The actual purpose of this episode was for the ninja to find the lighthouse, of course, but that pretty much takes a long time to get going, and once they do find the lighthouse, it kind of goes a little too quickly. The episode overall really wasn't balanced all that much, so I kind of felt like that was kind of a negative for this episode. Also, it's kind of like a screeching halt in the middle of the final battle arc, as I said earlier. The episode kind of feels strange, in my opinion. Like, it's kind of awkwardly placed, and it's not the best thing ever. It just kind of feels like it's in the middle, and it really doesn't it's not all that great in my opinion, but I'm just waiting for the ninja to get to the Dark Island at this point. Overall, the episode, pretty much felt awkwardly placed, and that's pretty much the only bad thing I have to say about it. But it's still a decent episode. Just looking at it as the episode itself, it's still good. Not a whole lot of stuff to talk about there in terms of just details, because again, the plot moves pretty quickly and it's a pretty simple plot. But overall, the episode was fine. Not my favorite episode overall, and definitely not a bad episode though. In terms of the score, I'm going to go ahead and give it a 7. Um, Feel free to rate the episode in the chat, and I will take a sip of my water and then we can move on. So, yeah, I decided to give it a 7 because it just kind of seems a little strange. It just kind of seems like that middle episode, and I just want it to keep going. So, but it has some good stuff. But you guys are giving it 10s, 7s. There's a 12 out of 12 in there, 8 out of 10, 8 out of 10. Um, yeah, I feel like a lot of people really do like this episode. It's just not for me necessarily. It's definitely an interesting episode, but it's not something that I find a lot of importance in. So, but overall, it seems to be pretty highly rated amongst the fans. So that's good. Yeah. So that's pretty much the review of the last Voyage. Basically, a pretty good episode, all things considered. Good stuff. Um, just kind of weak in a few areas. Tomorrow we will talk about episode 23 of Ninjago, and in the meantime, let's go ahead and jump over to Q&A. In terms of getting a moment of silence in chat, we're not going to do that here. Apologies. As Waffle opens the door and exits the room. But yeah, we can go ahead and run some Q&A stuff in the background, and just put some images running back there. We'll start with seasons 8 and 9. Yeah, the episode review went pretty quick this go around. Sometimes it does go a little quick because I don't know, just some episodes there's a lot of stuff to talk about, and sometimes there's not a whole lot to talk about. So it's just kind of, this episode was just kind of meh, all things considered. Yeah, Waffle left. Waffle, I got her a new toy this morning. I went Christmas shopping before the stream started and picked up gifts for family members and whatnot, and bought the kitties all new stuff. So they're all kind of excited and running around today. So yeah, they're all pretty good. Yeah, the cats are all right. They're pretty good, all things considered. So let's go ahead and get started with Q&A stuff. Where's my roommate? She's doing something. I think she's trying to keep the cats distracted so I can stream. How many minutes left of the stream? Well, we're only about 17 minutes in. Usually we let these streams go for about an hour, so there's still a decent amount of time left. Watching the stream while shiny hunting for a Regirock? Oh, good luck, man. I haven't shiny hunted in a very long time, but hopefully you can get some shiny luck. I always thought it would be cool to stream Pokemon shiny hunting, but I'm not really a Pokemon channel, so I'm not so sure uh, how I would do that necessarily, but I always think that's really cool. Do I play Among Us? I do not. Among Us isn't really something that I enjoy. I know it's really popular, but it's not something that I am like super pumped to play, Watching this on my TV, awesome. Do you think Wu will ever die? I feel like Wu should die before the end of the series. I feel like at some point we will see him go, just so we can like pass on that knowledge to Lloyd. But just overall, I'm fairly certain that we will be seeing Wu die at some point towards the end of the series. It's going to be sad, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. Am I happy with the streams? Yeah, they're fun to do. Sometimes you get into a stream and it's like a little iffy. It kind of takes me a minute to get into it. Today I was kind of pressed for time, so it's kind of hard for me to get into it at the moment. But overall, the streams are really fun. I really like going back and talking about some of the older Ninjago episodes that I haven't reviewed as of yet. My goal is to review every single episode, and we still got a ways to go. So the streams actually help out in that way, and they help me interact with you guys on a more personal note. So overall, the streams are very beneficial. Some people enjoy them, some people don't, but that's fine. Streams aren't for everybody, but just overall, I feel like people enjoy them. I feel like the people that are here like them, so that's good. And if you don't like it, then I'm not sure why you'd be here. But overall, yeah, it's really fun to revisit older episodes and talk with you guys. So yeah, I have a blast with these streams. Just get to hang out, have a couple drinks. It's a good time. Do I think Garmadon will return? Probably not. If they wanted to bring him back, they definitely could. But I think as of right now, Garmadon is kind of exited from the show. He's not really considered all that much, but it's kind of unfortunate. But I do understand why they do that, though. They want to bring in new characters. Would I ever make more videos on Monkey Kid? I'd I'd like to. Maybe if when season 2 comes out, for example, I'll review all of that. Because I reviewed like season 1-ish. I kind of talked about the first season, but I don't know. Just overall, Monkey Kid. I don't know. Probably not on this channel. I'm more of like a Ninjago channel right now. But maybe I could talk more about Monkey Kid in the future when more seasons come out. Um, will a mailman return in season 14? I hope so, man. He's like the best character in the show. Where can you watch Monkey Kid? It's all on YouTube. I have to kind of watch it in like different parts. I know some people have like a link to like a Google Doc or something like that, but for the most part, I watched it online. I don't have the link to the Google Doc. What are we talking about? Just anything. It's Q&A time. We already did the episode review, so we're good to go. The episode review went pretty quickly this go round. Usually it kind of does. Is Monkey Kid a Ninjago realm? Not that we know of. It very well could be. They could go ahead and merge the series like they did with Chima, but we don't know as of yet. Do I think the lowly are elemental masters? No, they're just kind of 3 dudes that Cole picked up along the way. Or 4 if you count Adam the spider. So he's part of the group, right? So yeah, Adam's an elemental master confirmed. Did I hear about the updated intro for Black Panther? Yeah, I did. I haven't seen it, but I thought that was a nice kind of, I guess, way to pay tribute to Chadwick Boseman, unfortunately, who perished earlier in the year. Still, it kind of sucks though. Like 2020 is kind of not so great. A lot of bad stuff going on. But I really enjoyed how they updated the intro. I thought that was pretty good. Even though Black Panther isn't like one of my favorite movies, I still thought it was a nice touch overall. So. Will Dareth regain brown power? Probably not. Dareth is like a character that shouldn't get that much power, and the only reason why he got power in season 9 was so that he would stop talking. So, yeah, I agree. This year is kind of going downhill. I'm kind of excited for 2021 just as a year, but I'm also kind of nervous to see like what else happens. But I hope for the most part it's gonna be. I hope it's gonna be good. Um, Do I like Nexonites? Nexonites is alright. It's not like something that I was all too into. I remember watching the first couple of episodes of it and thinking that, it was better than Chima, but it still wasn't my thing. Um, so I haven't really watched anything past the first 2 episodes of Nexonites, but I thought it was okay. It's just not something for me, I guess. What will happen if Dareth controls his elemental powers? Then maybe he could become an actual useful character. But as of right now, he's kind of just at the bottom of the barrel in terms of characters. Um, I haven't really started watching any Christmas movies yet. Went Christmas shopping today and got a couple gifts and whatnot for friends and family, but I haven't really watched any movies yet. I'll get more into the Christmas stuff probably starting tomorrow. But as of right now, I think it's the last day of November. So, let's see. Jay or Joel. I personally prefer, honestly, like Jay and Nia are pretty good together, but Jay and Cole are also not too bad. Just overall, I like both of those ships, if we're being honest. Obviously, one is canon and one is not, but I kind of prefer like Jay and Nia. But Jay and Cole, that's a pretty good ship as well. I would be quite happy if that turned out to be canon. Fortunately, it's probably not. So, rest in peace. Do I think it's stupid that I get the same questions over and over again? Not really. It's not stupid. It's just like, sometimes I don't get around to answering everybody's questions. So if I see like the same question in the chat a couple points during the stream, I'll go ahead and I'll answer it, or I'll be more likely to answer it, just because I see it's like a highly requested question. But if there's ever something that I don't want to answer, I just won't answer it. But don't think it's because I don't want to answer your questions. It's just some questions make me uncomfortable. Some questions people genuinely want to know about. So if it's like a question that I'm comfortable answering, I will answer it. I don't think it's stupid or anything like that. I feel like for the most part, these streams are really fun. So, and I appreciate you guys coming to these streams because they mean a lot. Digiverse or Prime Empire. Prime Empire is a better kind of digital area, I think. I do want to go ahead and discuss something that I talked about in a video a few days ago. I talked about like the center of the 16 realms, and there were a few comments on that video telling me that Prime Empire was a realm. Prime Empire is not a realm. Prime Empire is a video game. Unless they confirm that Prime Empire is a realm sometime down the line, then I will go back and change it. But as of right now, Prime Empire itself is not a realm. It's just kind of it's just a game that the ninja go into. It's a digital world, but it's not a realm. So I just kind of wanted to clear that up super quick. The Digiverse also is not a realm. That's kind of a digital world made by Cyrus Borg. That's also not a realm. So just try to clear up a little bit of confusion there. um, but yeah, it's not like it's a bad thing. I just wanted to let you guys know. Um, my life is trash. Oh, sorry to hear that, man. Am I gonna make a new content channel, like a new channel with more content? Probably not. For the time being, I want to focus on this channel. I've had other channels in the past, like I've had a Pokemon channel at one point, but I kind of got rid of that because I wanted to focus on the main channel, and I still feel that way. I want to focus on the actual um, main channel at hand because I like doing Ninjago stuff, and you guys like seeing it. So figured I'd put all my energy into that. Eventually, I would like to do something different, but for the time being, I kind of want to just focus on this channel, if we're being honest. Where's the movie channel? We're still working on it. My roommate and I are currently trying to make like a channel dedicated like to horror movies, but we're not sure if we want to do like an actual YouTube channel or like a podcast or something like that. So that project is still in development, but it should be coming out relatively soon. We kind of jumped the gun with it a little bit and tried to um, record something right away, but we kind of realized that we needed a little more time. So we will start that very soon. It does have like a Twitter and an Instagram that you guys can go follow as well. But we don't have like the actual we don't have any videos or any content up, but I could probably put the link in the chat if you guys are interested. Let me find it super quick. We're just opening up a new tab here. I can still see the chat and everything, but I do just want to find the channel super quick just in case you guys are interested. Um, just bear with me. There it is. And we will copy and paste. So yeah, this is like the new channel that we're working with. You can kind of just click on the link and it'll bring you over to there. We're trying to make stuff for it. As of right now, there's nothing on there, but if you guys wanted to head on over there and drop a subscribe or something, that would mean a lot because we're trying to get that project rolling because we both want to do it and it's something fun. So feel free to go ahead and check that out if you would like to. Let's get back into the questions. If I were to bring back a villain, who would I think it would be? Or if a villain were to come back. Honestly, you could do either Garmadon or Nauticon or the Time Twins. Those are villains that everyone wants to see. But in terms of just in terms of like an actual villain that I'd like to see come back, I'd like to see Garmadon. I feel like Garmadon is the one that should come back the most. So, um, do I watch brick films? I do not. In terms of like stop motion stuff, there are a few videos that I really enjoy that are Lego stop motion, but stop motion really isn't my thing, especially not in the Ninjago scene. I don't really care for a lot of Ninjago stop motions, if we're being honest. But yeah, we're going to be talking about like horror movie type stuff. It's either going to be on YouTube or it's going to be a podcast. We're not sure what we want to do yet. Will I do an anime channel? We had an anime channel way back in the day, but it kind of got taken down for like copyright stuff. Just kind of got deleted randomly, so like neither of us really cared about it all that much. So it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, we did have one at one point, but it got taken down unfortunately. Can I make another Ninjago tribute? I'd like to. The only issue like with tributes is that they take like a long time, and a lot of my time is spent doing like regular videos on the channel, and it's also like a matter of like copyright stuff too. Obviously, this is my job at this point, so my main video isn't like or my main priority is going to be making like main videos on the channel that actually do help support me financially as well. So like with tributes you can't really monetize that kind of stuff, so that's also a reason why I haven't been doing it. um, just overall it's not like, I don't know, it's not like a priority, but I do have ideas for it and I would like to make them again at some point. So favorite legacy set, either the movie Destiny's or not the movie Destiny's Bounty. I am like hearing strange noises. But just overall, favorite legacy set, Kai Fighter, Thunder Raider, just kind of stuff. My favorite set of all time is the movie Destiny's Bounty. So, will I stop Ninjago after the show ends? Like, stop making Ninjago content? Probably not. And I've kind of said this before, like, in relation to Bionicle YouTubers, because there are a lot of people that still talk about Bionicle, even though Bionicle is done and over with. So you can talk about Ninjago for a really long time and not have it be um, like not have it be stale. Like even if Ninjago ends, you can still talk about it for a long time after. You can discuss theories or like top tens or stuff like that. So there's a lot of stuff for Ninjago that you still could do, you know, even after the series ends. So unfortunately, or fortunately for us, the series isn't going to be ending anytime soon. So that's pretty good. So we'll still have some new stuff to talk about for a very long time. Um, Bionicle was good. Yeah, I thought Bionicle was really good. I was a really big Bionicle fan. Not so much the original Bionicle, but I really liked Gen 2. I know a lot about original Bionicle, like Gen 1 Bionicle, I know a lot about. I have sets from that, but I kind of joined into Lego like immediately after that was kind of ending. So like my big like introduction to Lego was with Hero Factory. But I went back and caught up with Bionicle, so I know stuff about it. I'm just not that big of a fan, if that makes sense. Is Vanya coming back? I hope so because Vanya is a really good character. However, with Vanya, she's probably gonna fall into the same category of side characters that kind of get forgotten immediately after their season. So we've had that with Akita, we've had that with Scott. I feel like it's going to be the same thing with Vanya, unfortunately. Is Morrow coming back? Probably not. I would like to see him come back, but unfortunately, I'm not so sure he would. Morrow is a character that's kind of had his moment, so they could always bring him back as like an ally. I always thought it would be really cool if he was a ninja, but unfortunately, the show's kind of done away with him. Vanya or Akita? I like Vanya more than Akita. I feel like she's a better character overall, which is why I really want to see Vanya come back, because out of all the side characters that we've seen so far, you know, with Akita, Scott, and Vanya is easily the best, at least in my own opinion. So I hope we see her again. What do I do during my weekends? The weekends I mainly just use to relax and kind of recuperate a little bit because during the week I make a lot of videos, and during the weekends, videos still come out, but there are videos that I have made prior during the week. So I kind of cover myself for the weekend so I can have a few days to relax. Unless there's some like big news that comes out during the weekend, I'll go ahead and watch or I'll go ahead and check that out and make a video on that. But otherwise, the weekends for me are just meant for like relaxing or playing games or doing something else. Like I played a lot of Pokemon this weekend, so happy about that. And yeah, just overall during the week, I try to get a lot of my work done so I can have off on the weekends. Something that I'm excited for is I ordered a package from Lego. I actually got a little minifigure pack, the one with Golden Zane. So I'm excited for that to show up. It should be here either today or tomorrow. So I'll make a video talking about that when I get that. I'll make a video unboxing that. How was Thanksgiving? It was alright. I really didn't do anything for Thanksgiving. Kind of worked on that day. We did a Thanksgiving stream, and then or at least I made a few more videos that day. Um, so yeah. Will Ninjago end? Ninjago will end eventually, yeah, but not anytime soon. But it will have an end eventually because all things come to an end. So Um, yeah, I hope that answered the question. In terms of when it's going to end, we don't know. I don't have any idea. The grind don't stop. Yeah, during the week I try to, you know, work on videos and stuff. I try to um make it so that you guys can get a couple of uploads per day on the channel. But on the weekends, I usually just try to relax. Of course, content will still be there, but we don't stream on the weekends, for example. I don't make videos on the weekend unless there's like some big news that comes out and then I need to do like an emergency upload. So Do I celebrate Christmas? I do. I went ahead and went Christmas shopping this morning, got some stuff, some decorations, got a Santa hat, and I got a new jacket for myself because I don't know what happened to my old jacket, so I got a new jacket. That's the only thing I bought for myself today. And then tomorrow we're gonna pick up some more Christmas decorations for the apartment. So, yeah, Christmas is fun. I like Christmas. Favorite ninja vehicle for every ninja? Ooh, well, I'm not gonna do every ninja right now. Maybe I'll make that a video idea. But for my favorite ninja, Cole, my favorite Cole vehicle is the Quake Mech from the Ninjago movie. Honestly, a lot of my favorites vehicles will probably come from the Ninjago movie. Um, so yeah, because the Ninjago movie's got a lot of good mechs, man. Like I really like mechs. I love robots. I love that kind of stuff. So having excellent mechs in the Ninjago movie, that's why I really want, I guess, more Ninjago movie attention because the mechs are pretty good and those sets are awesome too. I wish more sets would be like the movie wave. Would I like to see a Ninjago advent calendar, or what would I want to see in a Ninjago advent calendar? Pretty much what they do with like the Star Wars and Harry Potter ones. Every once in a while, you have like some like Christmas themed minifigures in there for Ninjago, and maybe there are like a couple little micro builds in there too. So yeah, just something basic like that. I just kind of want Ninjago to get some type of attention towards like an advent calendar. What's the best Ninjago wave besides the Ninjago movie? In terms of an actual wave, like for the show, I kind of really like the rebooted wave because I got every single set from rebooted. That's like the only wave that I had got every single set, and it's a pretty good wave, all things considered. The winter wave is obviously kind of superior because the summer wave only has like two sets, but for the most part, yeah, I'd say Rebooted has like one of the best set waves out there in my opinion. Pretty good stuff. Um, the season 11 sets were good. Yeah, they were pretty good too. I also really like the first wave of Legacy that kind of followed March of the Oni or came out with it. So I don't know. I feel like overall, Rebooted has the best wave. Of course, the Ninjago movie has the best wave overall, but if we're talking specifically for a TV season, definitely Rebooted. Um, do I think the Ice chapter will come out on Netflix UK? I have no information regarding that. Sorry to say. In terms of stuff that's on Netflix, the only thing that I know is what's in my country, what's in the States. I'm not so sure about Netflix distribution rights in other countries, so sorry about that. But I hope you guys do get the Ice chapter very soon. Um, we got the Fire chapter over here in the States added, so hopefully the Ice chapter can be added if you guys are still missing that one. But yeah, Netflix is just kind of different for every area, unfortunately. It's not like a universal thing. I wish it was. Could I do vlogs? Vlogs are something that I did in the past on the second channel a little bit. I also did some on the main channel from time to time. But I honestly just prefer this style of video making. I don't really care for vlogs all that much. I tried it and don't really like it, so those are my thoughts on vlogs. I probably won't be doing them anytime soon. And plus, my life basically consists of, sleeping, waking up, eating, making Ninjago videos for 7, 8 hours a day, and then going to bed. So I don't know if you guys would even find that interesting. Arcade pods are the new battle sets. I like the arcade pods a little bit more. I feel like with the arcade pods, they could have made some for the rest of the ninja. We should have had 6 instead of just 3, but I understand why they only made 3. Kind of unfortunate. But yeah, I feel like the arcade pods are a little better. I feel like the epic battle sets too. They do have, I guess, an interesting uh, development with them. They are interesting in terms of what they come with and with their designs and whatnot. I feel like they're going to be good for parts as well. A lot of people are going to be getting that Zane epic battle set just for the hairpiece. I can already tell. So overall, I feel like they're a little bit more valuable, but I like the arcade pods a little more just as a thing. So. Can the powers get mixed if the ninja have kids? Like, can elemental powers be crossed over? As far as I'm concerned, they kind of pass down from like one to the next in terms of like just pure elemental powers. Like, say for example, if Jay and Nia were to have a child, that child would either get lightning or water. I don't think he would get like a fusion of the two powers. If they had two kids, probably one would get lightning and one would get water. So just kind of passed down through genetics. Am I excited for City Gardens? Yeah, for sure. I feel like it's going to be a really good set, all things considered, and I hope we see pictures of it soon. As the time of filming this right now, we don't have pictures to my knowledge, but I hope we get them soon. Favorite dragon set? I really like the Legacy Golden Dragon. That one's really good. The Overlord Dragon that's coming up looks great too, even though some folks don't like that. I feel like it's good. Um, but yeah, I'd say one of those two. In terms of a dragon that isn't a ninja dragon, I really like the Ninja Red Mech Dragon. When that came out back from Rebooted, that was a really cool dragon in my opinion. So we've had good dragon stuff. Um, there's not really a bad dragon in my opinion. Um, Imagine a Lighthouse Siege remake. That'd be pretty cool. I feel like they will do that for Skybound when it comes out. They got to do that at some point. Is the Overlord Dragon actually going to be made? Yeah, it's going to be coming out next year. We have like very blurry images of it. I've done a few videos about it on the channel, but yeah, we are getting an Overlord Dragon, and it's really cool. A lot of people have been waiting for that for a long time. And even though some folks are disappointed in it, I still think it's a pretty interesting set, all things considered. I'm definitely going to pick it up. Who's my favorite ninja? Cole is my favorite ninja. Cole's been my favorite for the past few years, and I don't really plan on dropping him as my favorite anytime soon. There's a lot of good stuff that goes into his character. A couple questions asking about a Borg Tower set. There are no plans for that to my knowledge, but I would like one. I feel like a Borg Tower set is kind of well overdue at this point. I kind of would have preferred that for like a 10th anniversary set as opposed to the City Gardens, but who knows? Maybe the Ninjago City Gardens set will include a Borg Tower build or something like that. We don't really have a lot of information regarding that right now, but I do think it'd be a pretty good addition, so I would like to see it, yes. Would Ninjago Next Generation be a good show? Yeah, for sure. I've always kind of wanted to see like a spin-off of sorts. Maybe after Ninjago ends, there could be a new series that picks up with the ninjas' kids or something, and they all have the same powers except a little different because, of course, they are new characters. So, yeah, I feel like that'd be a really good thing, and I'd want to see something like that, but I'm not so sure if we will. Um, how much did I get Sensei Garmadon for? Like the minifigure? I don't have like the 2015 version of Sensei Garmadon, like the one from Tournament, but I do have the one from Rebooted, and I just got that with the Ninja Red Mech Dragon set. So some figures I get in sets, some figures I buy on my own. I know that on Bricklink, some of the Sensei Garmadons are going for a fair bit, so eventually when I do go ahead and pick that figure up, it's probably going to cost me a little bit, so I haven't got it yet. Um, let's see what else you got for questions. Is Ninjago my favorite show? It's one of my favorite shows. I don't think I would say it's my absolute favorite, but then again, I don't watch a lot of TV, so um, just overall. Um, yeah, it's not my favorite show, but it's obviously a favorite of mine since I dedicate a large portion of my time to it. So clearly I like it in some way, right? But yeah, how much do I buy on Ninjago sets? Like how much do I spend? In terms of like a per year thing, I can't give you an exact number. Even I did a video recently, kind of breaking down how much I've spent on Ninjago total. Um, you guys can go check out that video. It's not an exact number, but it's a pretty good estimate. I think it was at least like 4,000 something. I can't really remember exactly what the number is, but I spent a fair bit on Ninjago sets. Every Ninjago wave, the spinners get crazier, by the way. I feel like they get a little more unique and a little more creative, but I don't know. Just overall, the spinners are fine. There's not like a lot of stuff that goes into the spinners, in my opinion. I feel like they're just kind of afterthoughts for the most part. Do I watch Full Metal Alchemist? No, I have not seen that. It's on the list of stuff to watch, but it's been on the list for a very long time. So, how am I? I'm doing good. How are you guys? um, doing all right. Today's kind of a weird day. I feel tired, so kind of groggy, but maybe I will feel better later. But as of right now, I got a lot done today though. I went shopping earlier, so that's fun. Swung through the Ninjago section just to look for like deals and stuff, and they don't have anything like on sale. I went to Walmart, so it's kind of disappointing, but kind of expected that, honestly. I don't feel like there's going to be a lot of deals happening this close to Christmas. Should have went on Black Friday, but I didn't. What's my favorite ninja suit design? In terms of an individual suit, I love the original Golden Lloyd, but as a group, I really like the Sons of Garmadon suits. I feel like all together they kind of make a very unique kind of group of ninjas, so they're pretty much my favorite. I love a Garmadon's Dark Fortress remake. Yeah, that could be pretty cool as well. Honestly, there's a lot of legacy stuff that they could do that they choose not to. If I had my way, I'd remake every single set, but I kind of like the sets that they've chosen so far. Some of them really needed that upgrade, while some of them kind of really didn't. But I don't know, for the most part, I feel like Legacy does a good job of picking and choosing which sets to remake. So yeah, we need the Garmadon mech too. Someone mentioned that in the last stream, and I feel like that's a really good set that we haven't seen yet. We need to see it. It wasn't in the original Ninjago Final Battle Wave, but it's something that's really cool for Garmadon, so I don't get why we don't have it. So maybe we'll see that at some point for Legacy. Can't wait to see the rest of the Season 14 suits. Yeah, me neither. They're going to look awesome. Lloyd's looks really good so far, and we've seen Cole's as well, but I can't wait to see the other Ninja. So I feel like they're going to all look really, really good. Larumi or Lakita. I feel like together Lloyd and Harumi make the better match, but Lloyd and Akita also isn't all that bad. I could pretty much go either way. But as of right now, there's pretty much only one that's actually possible, so maybe I'm kind of obligated to say Lloyd and Akita, but Lloyd and Harumi, Harumi kind of, she redeemed herself in a way. I feel like if she didn't die, she would make an interesting companion for Lloyd, I must say. Um, do you think Harumi actually had feelings for Lloyd? I feel like she was kind of pretending at first, obviously, but I feel like when she died, she kind of had that minute of recognition and kind of relation to Lloyd that kind of felt like that spark. I feel like right before she died, which it's kind of bittersweet in that way. But I think that at that moment in time, she did kind of genuinely have some type of feelings for him. So. Which design do I like? The first 6 seasons or 8 to 13? I feel like for the most part, the 8 to 13 designs, the newer designs for the Ninja, do a lot more for the Ninja than the original designs do. In terms of, I guess, a unique profile, the only one that had a unique profile for the original designs was Kai, because nobody else really shared his hairpiece, in relation to other Lego themes and other Lego figures. All of the other Ninja kind of used basic hairstyles and didn't really come out all that unique, but now every ninja has their own hairstyle and every ninja is recognizable as their own thing ever since the Ninjago movie came out. So the newer designs, at least for me, do more for the overall team. I do admit that some of the older designs are better for the individual characters, such as Jay, for example. I love that older design and I don't really care for the new one all that much, but for the rest of the ninja, I don't really see an issue. And overall, I feel like it was a very beneficial thing to change the designs over. I know it's still kind of a controversial decision in a large part of the community, and most people left the Ninjago scene after the designs changed. But those of us that are still here, I feel like we can appreciate both groups of designs. So, just overall, I really, really, really like the newer designs. So, will Overlord come back since Evil always comes back? The Overlord is still around, but he's not like made a reappearance since season 3 for the most part. But also he was in Ninjago Decoded, which I guess is canon. But he will pop up at some point. I have no doubts. So he should come up very soon. Am I going to do the backflip off the porch because Netflix added all the seasons? We still don't have the pilot season, but I do appreciate what we have. Unfortunately for me, my roommate says no. She's not going to let me backflip off the porch, so as much as I would like to. So if they add the pilots, I'll try to convince her a little more. Otherwise, she's kind of concerned for my safety, so which I understand. It's understandable and respectable. So um, don't have an issue there. What's the scariest movie that I've ever seen? Well, I was just having this discussion the other day. Either Pet Cemetery, the original one, or Hereditary. So that's like a recent one. But otherwise, the original Pet Cemetery used to scare me like a lot as a kid, and rewatching it as an adult, I rewatched it for like the Halloween season. It's still like kind of messed up. It's not so much like scary as it's just kind of disturbing nowadays, and I can't really watch it. So I guess in a way, it still kind of freaks me out. So yeah, Pet Cemetery, the original. I have not seen the remake, but but the original Pet Cemetery used to scare me a lot. So. Imagine a legacy set, Jay and Cole fighting over Nia. That could be pretty fun. I'd probably pick that up. So, do I think the Overlord has some influence in some actions like the Oni? I feel like he kind of controls like that overall presence of evilness in Ninjago. I don't think he has like a direct influence on it though. I feel like he just has like some type of presence there with everything evil that goes on because the Overlord is the ultimate evil. So he always remains dormant and he's always around to keep that balance kind of the same. But I'm not sure if he has like an overall direct influence on things that happen in Ninjago. I feel like his presence just kind of motivates more evil to show up. At least that's just my opinion, just my thoughts. What happened to the Oni after season 10? That's a good question. The Oni just kind of disappeared after the tornado of creation was summoned by the ninja. So who's to say? I'm not so sure about that. Wish Ninjago stayed to the 20 minutes. Yeah, the new episode length isn't all that great for some people. I personally don't have an issue with it. I feel like 11 minutes is more than enough time to tell a good story. Um, but some people really do miss the 22-minute episodes, which I do understand. The 22-minute episodes were the standard for Ninjago for a very long time, so I could see why some people would miss it. But I don't know, the 11 minutes for me does all right. Like, for example, season 13, it has the same runtime as season 3. Even though one has 8 episodes, one has 16 episodes, they're technically still the same runtime. So in terms of runtime, I don't think there's an issue there. Season 11 is also the longest season of Ninjago in terms of runtime, so we're actually getting more content with these shorter episodes, but that's obviously just because there's 30 episodes in season 11. But I don't know, for the most part, I feel like they work. Sometimes there's like too short of an episode, and I can tell that the show's kind of struggling to include everything in that runtime, but for the most part, I feel like it's fine. How was Black Friday? I didn't go back Black Friday shopping. This year I kind of skipped that. I was looking online to see if there was anything, and there's not really a whole lot online either. But for the most part, I do go Black Friday shopping every year. This year I didn't though because of COVID. COVID cancels everything. And while it didn't cancel Black Friday necessarily, it kind of canceled it for me because I didn't want to go. So when do I think the season 14 trailer will come out? Hopefully sometime soon. I think we're going to be getting the season at some point in either anywhere between like January or April. Somewhere in between there, we'll get it. So we'll probably get a trailer around the same time. Someone's probably going to upload the episodes onto YouTube before an actual trailer even comes out. So I'd get excited for that. But I feel like we can expect that to show up at some point around January, is my guess. That's usually how it goes every year for Ninjago stuff. Let's see. Did the Great Devourer turn Garmadon into an Oni or the Dark Lord? Well, when Garmadon was bitten by the Devourer, the evil kind of started to corrupt his body. It didn't turn him into like his Oni shape, if that makes sense, because obviously Garmadon's appearance is kind of based on the Oni. But what happened was when the evil had fully corrupted him, he was also hit by lightning, and that kind of turned his body into that Oni form. So um, it's kind of a combination of the Devourer biting him and him getting struck by lightning, which is kind of not a very great combo. So, but it took a while for Garmadon to fully become evil, so it's not like he was just always evil just for the sake of it. What's my worst fear? I don't know about that. I am quite afraid of like wasps and bees and that kind of stuff, so maybe that I'd say. It's not like I'm allergic or anything. I just don't like them. Um, how is Lloyd half Oni? Well, he's not half Oni. He's like a certain percentage of Oni because the first Spinjitzu Master was, part Oni, part dragon, part something else, and that obviously just gets passed down from generation to generation. But Garmadon, I guess during his corruption, that was kind of triggered in him, like his Oni blood kind of turned him that. So if, say, for example, Lloyd were to get bit by something similar to the Great Devourer and get struck by lightning in that same way, that would probably activate his Oni heritage, and he could become like an Oni form similar to Garmadon. So it just kind of depends. But Garmadon and Wu and Lloyd, all of their heritage comes from the first Spinjitzu Master, obviously, and he was, of course, part Oni, part Dragon. So that kind of carried on through the bloodline. It's a really interesting bloodline overall, and I really like that. I kind of want to get a little bit more backstory regarding the first Spinjitzu Master's origins, but um, yeah, for the most part, I feel like the show does a good job at explaining it. What if Wu had Tinder? He doesn't need Tinder. He's got Masako, which is still kind of weird and kind of creepy, but it's better than nothing. Spider-Man or Ant-Man? Spider-Man's the better character in my opinion. What's my favorite element? Either lightning or ice. Even though Cole's my favorite ninja, Earth isn't my favorite element. I would much rather prefer ice or lightning. Um, yeah. second favorite character. In terms of a character, either Garmadon or Skylar, because I really enjoy those two characters. But in terms of like the ninja, I would say Cole's my favorite, then Zane, then Lloyd, then Jay, then Kai, then Nia. That's how I would rank the ninja. What would I want for a TV-14 Ninjago? More mature themes, more darker themes, more violence. That could be fun for Ninjago. Overall, Ninjago has a lot of potential, and something like Ninjago could be very, very good if it was kind of designed for like a more, older audience. But obviously, Ninjago is a Lego theme, so it's obviously going to be based off of like, or marketed towards a younger audience. Even though there are older fans such as myself, at the end of the day, Ninjago is a Lego theme, so can't really say a whole lot about that. But I would like to see Ninjago, I guess, mature a little bit more. Did I like Lego before Ninjago? Yeah, Ninjago was not my first Lego theme that I had gotten into. I was really big into Hero Factory when I started seriously getting into Lego. I was also really big into Lego City Police at the time, and I had a lot of City Police sets. And I kind of prioritized that over Ninjago, for being honest, throughout the first couple of years. But eventually, Hero Factory died out. I kind of lost interest in Lego City, and Ninjago slowly became like my main priority in terms of Lego. So as of right now, there's not really another Lego theme that I like aside from Ninjago. It's just kind of only Ninjago. Um, but for a long time there, I was kind of interested in a few other Lego themes. But as of right now, there's not really another Lego theme that I enjoy. So it's kind of unfortunate, but all the good stuff's kind of gone at this point. But Ninjago's still around, so that's good. Um, which would look better in live action, Ninjago or Chima? I don't even want to imagine live action Chima, so I'm going to say Ninjago. Live action Chima would be not all that great. Can there be an element of surprise? Yeah, in the Ninjago movie, there was the element of surprise just as a joke, so I guess in a way it does exist. Um, have I, do I have any Nexonite sets? No, I never really got into Nexonites. I know some of my family bought a few Nexonite sets at one point, but I never did. I was always kind of into Ninjago. Even when Chima came out, I do have a few Chima sets, like some of like the Speedors sets, but aside from that, I don't really have a whole lot of anything for Chima because it's not really my favorite thing. I prefer Nexonites over Chima, but I never really bought any Nexonite sets. Even right now, like Monkey Kid is like the best kind of Ninjago, like quote unquote rival that's ever come out, even though I don't consider them to be rivals in the slightest. But the actual sets for Monkey Kid, in my opinion, aren't all that great. So but I feel like Monkey Kid has a very solid Ninjago, I guess, following. A very similar following in that sense. I feel like a lot of Ninjago fans would appreciate Monkey Kid a little bit more. I feel like that has more potential for like a crossover fan base as opposed to something like Chima or Nexonites. What is Monkey Kid? Monkey Kid is one of the latest Lego themes to come out from like an original IP for Lego. It kind of is based around Chinese culture in a sense, but it is basically like an animated show on YouTube as well. Um, Obviously, it's not supposed to be on YouTube, but people upload it on there. But yeah, that's kind of where I watched it. It's pretty good. It's kind of animated in like a 2D fashion, not like Ninjago. It's animated completely differently. And overall, I feel like it's a pretty good series. I don't really care for the sets though. Um, where can I watch Monkey Kid? On YouTube is probably your best bet. I know there are some people out there that have like a Google Doc with all the episodes on it. I do not have that, so you might just want to ask around like different comment sections or something like that on Discord. Even somebody might have it, but it's pretty good. I highly recommend anyone watch it. It's a really good show. I feel like a lot of Ninjago fans would really appreciate Monkey Kid. So um, I'd love to see the Overlord be an Oni. Yeah, I'm not so sure if he is, though. The Overlord is kind of like his own thing, if that makes sense. But the Oni themselves are kind of like an ultimate evil as well, so I can see how they would be kind of similar in that regard. Favorite Ninjago weapon? In terms of a group, well, the golden weapons are classic. I think the Techno Blades are really cool. The Arrow Blades are awesome too. Honestly, like there's not really a collectible weapon for Ninjago that I really don't like, but in terms of a single weapon, obviously the Mega Weapon is pretty good. Garmadon's Garmadon's Mega Weapon is a pretty interesting weapon, all things considered, and it's really powerful. So I'd say that's probably my favorite if I had to pick a select weapon. With that being said, though, the stream is almost over, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and jump over to rapid fire questions. Any sort of question that I can answer within just a sentence or two. That's usually what we do to kind of round out the streams when they get close. Pretty fast stream today, all things considered. It went pretty quick. So let's get a few rapid fire questions in here before we conclude today's live stream. So, do I like Pixel? Yeah, Pixel's really good. Pixel's a really great character, all things considered, and I really enjoy her. Did Chima predict season 11? In what way? With with a Sphera in them? I have no idea. What age is Waffle? We don't really know. We got her a few months ago, and we're not sure how old she is. What if Deadpool was in a Ninjago? That'd be interesting, I'd say. My favorite drink? I don't know. I'm pretty good with anything. There's not really anything that I don't like to drink. I really like brisk iced tea, though, so maybe I'd say that. Esphira or Pythor? Pythor is the better character by far. How old am I? I am 21 years of age, so I can legally purchase adult beverages now. So good stuff. Uh, obviously, beverage lore versus Ninjago lore. Beverage lore, obviously. I wonder if anyone's actually keeping track of that. I'm curious to see, like, throughout all the streams, like what I've drinking more or what drink is the most popular. So, what's one of the most powerful elements? Right off the top of my head, in terms of an element, probably amber because it can absorb other elements. Otherwise, ice is pretty solid. Literally, lightning is pretty powerful depending on how you look at it. So, yeah. Do I prefer plasma or bruise? I love bruise. Bruise is like one of my favorite ships. Do I know KSI? I know of him, but I don't know him personally. I'm not really a big fan of KSI. Why are Lloyd and Nia always staring at each other? Maybe they have a thing for each other. Who knows? Maybe that's just something that they only know. We don't know what they're doing. We don't know what happens when the screen goes black. Will the PS5 eat your wallet? Maybe when I buy one. As of right now, I have no plans to get one. I do like making fun of it though, like on my Instagram and on my Twitter. I do kind of joke about the PS5 a lot because, it is kind of a funny thing to me, but I can understand people's frustration as to why they can't get one. But I personally don't need one right now. I'll get one eventually, just I don't need it right dead this second. Weapons just disappear in between seasons. How seasons tend not to carry continuity over all that much, unfortunately, and sometimes something will just disappear without explanation. Unfortunately, there are several moments in Ninjago that are like that, so it's just something that we've kind of gotten used to at this point. What's my favorite suit as a unified team? Probably the elemental kimonos. I feel like those are all very good in terms of a design, and obviously each ninja kind of has a different color, obviously corresponding with their own individual color, so good stuff. Let's answer one more question before we round out the stream for today. It went by pretty quick, all things considered. Oh, and also, if you guys wanted to do the thing, we've kind of been doing a tradition at this point, at some point in the stream, where we all do a big group hug. It's kind of fun, so I put a hug in there if you guys want to drop some hugs in the chat. We've kind of moved that towards the end of the stream. So, yeah, you guys will remind me if I ever forget, but you guys like doing it. I think it's fun, so we'll do that towards the end of the stream. But in terms of a final question, um, let's get one more question in there. I could do, yeah, do I watch others' YouTube videos? Like in terms of Ninjago, I don't really watch anybody else. There have been a few channels as of late that have kind of got my attention that I do kind of watch, and I've subbed to a few of them. But just overall, Ninjago content, I don't really watch like a lot of the bigger names, if that makes sense. I just kind of stick with my own thing. But in terms of Lego YouTubers, yeah, I do watch a couple. I watch Jang Bricks. I was a really big fan of The Brick Show before that kind of got removed for whatever reason. A lot of classic stuff there. But overall, that's pretty much going to do it for the stream here. Thanks a lot for tuning in. In case you guys need the information regarding the streaming time and whatnot, here's what we got. Streaming Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. Central Time, with an episode review and a Q&A. And obviously, we're going to update this day by day. If there's ever a day where I can't stream, I'll let you guys know in my community tab. Tomorrow, we will be talking about episode 23 of Ninjago. And in the meantime, that's pretty much going to do it for this stream, guys. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Went by pretty quick, but I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys had a good time checking in. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for talking. Thanks for asking questions. And thanks a lot for watching. And stay tuned on the channel. A couple more videos coming out today, so hopefully you guys enjoy those. And I'm going to go ahead and get back to working on stuff. So I will catch you guys in the next stream. Thank you guys so much.